Have you ever looked at someone you've known for years and suddenly couldn't remember their name? Or stood in the middle of your home, wondering where your thoughts just went? If so, you're not alone. Memory lapses like these are common, but they don't mean your brain is failing. The truth is, your brain is alive, active, and still growing. Even after 60, your brain can rebuild connections, create new memories, and stay sharp, if you know how to train it. Neuroscientists now call this neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to adapt and rewire itself at any age. You don't need expensive supplements or fancy gadgets. You just need small, consistent habits that fuel, move, and challenge your mind every day. In this video, we'll explore 6 simple, science-based steps to keep your brain clearer, stronger, and healthier for life. You'll learn how to eat foods that feed your neurons, move your body to grow new brain cells, sleep deeply to restore memory, manage stress before it steals your focus, stay socially and emotionally connected, and challenge your mind to stay young, because aging doesn't mean decline, it means opportunity. So let's start your journey to a sharper, brighter brain, one step at a time. Step 1, a brain-healthy diet. Your brain is like a car that never stops running. Even while you sleep, it burns energy, stores memories, and repairs itself. But just like any engine, it runs best on the right fuel. The brain is only 2% of your body's weight, yet it uses nearly 20% of your daily energy. That means what you eat directly affects how you think, remember, and feel. A growing body of research shows that food can literally change your brain's structure and function. One of the most studied eating patterns is called the MIND diet, a combination of the Mediterranean and DASH diets. According to Harvard Health and Rush University, people who follow the MIND diet can reduce their risk of Alzheimer's and dementia by up to 53%. So, what's on this brain-healthy plate? Start with berries. Blueberries and strawberries protect your brain from aging. Add leafy greens like spinach and kale, rich in folate, vitamin K, and antioxidants. Include fatty fish, salmon, sardines, trout, for omega-3 fatty acids that build healthy brain cells. Cook with olive oil instead of butter. It improves blood flow to your brain. And sprinkle in turmeric and nuts, small but powerful inflammation fighters. At the same time, try to limit refined sugar, fried foods, and processed snacks because they can inflame the brain and slow your focus. Mary, 68, made a small change. She replaced her morning pastries with oatmeal, blueberries, and a handful of walnuts. Within weeks, she noticed fewer foggy moments and a steadier mood. That's how powerful food can be. You don't have to change everything overnight. Just one smart choice a day can give your brain the nutrients it needs to stay sharp. Because a healthy mind starts with a healthy plate. And once you've fueled your brain, the next step is to move it. Because movement builds memory. Step 2, brain-healthy exercise. Your brain may sit inside your head, but it thrives when your body moves. Exercise isn't just for muscles or weight loss. It's one of the most powerful ways to protect your memory and mental sharpness. When you move your body, you send more oxygen and nutrients to your brain. You also release powerful chemicals called growth factors. They help brain cells connect, communicate, and grow stronger. Scientists at the Mayo Clinic call exercise the most underused antidepressant and memory booster. Regular movement increases the size of the hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for learning and memory. That means every step, every stretch, every breath you take is helping your brain stay younger. So what kind of exercise works best? 1. Aerobic activity. Walking, swimming, or cycling. 30 minutes a day keeps blood flowing to the brain and clears toxins. 2. Strength training. Lifting light weights or using resistance bands improves balance and focus. 3. Mind-body movement. Yoga, tai chi, or slow breathing. Reduce stress hormones that can damage memory. Robert, 72, started walking with his neighbor each morning. At first, he could barely go half a mile, but within 3 months, he was walking 2 miles easily, and his doctor noticed his blood pressure had dropped. Even better, Robert said, my mind feels lighter, like a fog has lifted. That's the brain waking up. You don't have to join a gym. You just need to move a little every day. Walk to the mailbox, dance in your kitchen, stretch before bed, because your heart and brain speak the same language, movement. And every time you move your body, you send a message to your brain that says, I'm still alive. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. Up next, let's talk about something just as powerful as movement, sleep. Step 3, brain-healthy sleep. If food is fuel for your brain, then sleep is its repair time. Every night while you rest, your brain goes to work, clearing toxins, filing memories, and resetting your emotions. Scientists call this the brain's housekeeping shift. It's when your neurons take out the trash, removing waste that can build up and cause memory loss. But when you don't get enough sleep, that waste stays behind. Over time, it can damage the brain and increase your risk of Alzheimer's and dementia. Studies from Harvard Medical School and the National Institutes of Health, NIH, show that adults over 60 who sleep less than 6 hours a night have up to a 30% higher risk of cognitive decline. Sleep is not laziness, it's maintenance. So how do you help your brain rest better? Keep a regular schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Create a calm space. Keep your room dark, cool, and quiet. Avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. It lingers longer than you think. Turn off screens an hour before bed. Your brain needs darkness to release melatonin. Try a bedtime ritual, soft music, stretching, or prayer. Eleanor, 70, used to stay up watching late-night news. She felt anxious and tired every morning. Her doctor suggested switching to a wind-down routine, a warm shower, a cup of chamomile tea, and reading before bed. Within 2 weeks, she was falling asleep faster and waking up with a clear mind. Your brain doesn't stop when you sleep. It heals, it rewires, it remembers. So treat your rest like medicine, because in many ways it is. Up next, let's talk about stress and why learning to calm your mind is one of the best ways to protect your memory. Step 4, brain-healthy stress management. Stress, it's invisible, but it changes everything inside your brain. When you're stressed, your body releases a hormone called cortisol. In small doses, it helps you focus. But when stress becomes constant, cortisol floods your system, shrinking the hippocampus, the part of your brain that controls memory and learning. That's why people under chronic stress often feel forgetful, confused, or easily overwhelmed. The good news? You can train your body to relax, and your brain will follow. Researchers from the Mayo Clinic and Harvard Medical School found that people who practice simple relaxation habits, like deep breathing, meditation, and mindfulness, had lower cortisol levels, better focus, and stronger memory. You don't need to become a monk to calm your mind. You just need moments of stillness. Try this. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 2, exhale gently through your mouth for 6, repeat 5 times. This simple rhythm tells your brain you're safe, and when your brain feels safe, it can think clearly again. Frank, 69, used to wake up every morning anxious, his mind racing with to-do lists. His doctor suggested 5 minutes of deep breathing each morning before checking his phone. Within a month, his blood pressure dropped, his sleep improved, and he said, I can finally feel peace again. You can't always control what happens around you, but you can control how your body responds. Take a walk, breathe slowly, listen to calm music, write down what you're grateful for. Stress will always knock, but you don't have to let it stay, because a calm heart creates a clear mind. Up next, let's talk about something equally powerful: connection. The friendships that keep your brain alive. Step 5, brain-healthy relationships. No vitamin, no supplement, and no brain game can replace what your mind needs most: connection. Humans are wired for relationships. Your brain is social by design. Every conversation, every shared laugh, every gentle hug creates tiny sparks of activity in your neural network. When you talk, listen, or simply sit with someone you love, your brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone that reduces stress and strengthens memory. In fact, A Harvard study spanning over 80 years found that the single greatest predictor of long-term happiness in brain health is not wealth or diet, but the quality of your relationships. Loneliness, on the other hand, can be as damaging as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It increases your risk of dementia by up to 40%. But the beautiful part is, it's never too late to reconnect. Helen, 75, lost her husband 5 years ago. For a long time, she felt invisible, like the world kept moving while she stayed still. Then she joined a small neighborhood book club. She started meeting new people, sharing stories, laughing again. Within months, her mood improved, and even her memory felt sharper. She said, "Talking with people brought my brain back to life." You don't have to meet a crowd. Call an old friend, have coffee with your neighbor, volunteer, join a class, or share a hobby, because every smile you give, every conversation you start is exercise for your mind and medicine for your heart. Up next, let's talk about the final and most joyful step, challenging your brain to grow through curiosity and learning. Step 6, brain healthy challenges. Your brain loves patterns, yeah, but it grows when you break them. Doing the same thing every day keeps you comfortable, but it also keeps your brain quiet. And a quiet brain is a shrinking brain. The secret to staying mentally young isn't just rest, it's challenge. Every time you learn something new, your brain forms new connections. It builds bridges between neurons, making thinking faster and sharper. This ability is called neuroplasticity, your brain's power to rewire and grow no matter your age. Studies from the National Institute on Aging show that seniors who regularly learn new skills can delay memory decline by up to 2.5 years. And the key is not perfection, it's curiosity. Learn a language, play an instrument, do a crossword puzzle, try painting, cooking, or even dancing. It doesn't matter if you're good at it. What matters is that you try. George, 74, decided to learn guitar online. At first, his fingers felt stiff. He struggled with simple chords. But after 3 months, he could play a full song. He said, "When I play, I feel my brain wake up." That's exactly what happens. Each new skill lights up your brain like a sunrise. And the more you practice, the brighter it gets. So challenge yourself, not to be perfect, but to stay alive, alert, and engaged. Because your brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. And now that you've learned all 6 steps, let's bring everything together into one powerful daily routine that keeps your mind young for life. Step 7, the brain protective daily routine. Now that you know the 6 steps, let's put them together into one simple daily rhythm that keeps your brain alive and clear. Morning starts the tune. Wake up slowly. Take 3 deep breaths before you touch your phone. Stretch your arms, open the blinds, and let in the light. Light tells your brain it's time to wake up. Breakfast. Start with brain fuel. Oatmeal topped with blueberries, a handful of walnuts, and a drizzle of olive oil. Enjoy a warm cup of green tea or coffee in peace. Midday. Move your body. Take a walk around the block or dance in your kitchen. Movement sends oxygen to your brain and happiness to your heart. Lunch. Fill your plate with color. Spinach, salmon, brown rice, and maybe a touch of turmeric. Each bite builds a stronger mind. Afternoon. Take 10 minutes to rest your eyes. If you feel stressed, breathe deeply. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Write down one thing you're grateful for. Evening. Call a friend. Share a story. Laugh a little. Connection is the brain's favorite vitamin. Dinner. Keep it light, a bowl of vegetable soup, a piece of whole grain bread, and herbal tea before bed. Finally, turn off your screens an hour before sleep. Let silence become your lullaby. That's it. A day that feeds, moves, calms, and connects your brain. It's not a strict plan. It's a way of living, a rhythm of nourishment and peace that keeps your mind young, your memory strong, and your heart content. Up next, let's talk about how lifestyle ties it all together and why no pill can ever replace the power of daily choices. Food is powerful, but it's only part of the story. No supplement, no magic pill, and no quick fix can replace the healing power of daily living. Your brain doesn't just feed on nutrients, it feeds on experience. When you move, you send oxygen to your brain. When you sleep deeply, you wash away toxins and reset your memory. When you breathe slowly, you calm your nervous system. And when you connect with others, you strengthen the emotional part of your mind. Everything works together, body, heart, and brain, like instruments in the same orchestra. A study from Harvard University found that seniors who combined healthy eating, movement, sleep, and social connection reduced their risk of dementia by over 60%. That's the real medicine. Not something you buy, but something you live. You don't have to be perfect. Start small. Take a walk. Drink water. Go to bed a little earlier. Call someone you miss. Smile more often. These simple choices send powerful signals to your brain. I'm still growing. I still matter. Health isn't about avoiding age. It's about embracing it with awareness and grace. Because your brain doesn't just remember the past, it listens to how you live today. So treat your lifestyle as your prescription. Eat well, move daily, rest deeply, stay connected. That's how you keep your mind clear and your spirit alive. Up next, let's close everything with one message of hope, a reminder that your brain and your life are still beautifully alive. Let's take a moment to remember what we've learned today. Your brain is not fading, it's learning, it's healing, it's still alive. We discovered that food can protect your neurons, that movement grows new brain cells, that sleep cleanses and restores your mind, that calmness brings clarity, that friendship keeps you strong, and that curiosity keeps you young. These 6 simple steps are not just habits. They are messages you send to your brain every day. I still care for you, Tamam. I still believe in you. Science calls it neuroplasticity. But in real life, it's hope. Hope that no matter your age, you can still grow, learn, remember, and feel alive. Because the truth is, aging is not the end of your story. It's a new chapter your brain is ready to write. You don't need perfection. You just need presence. Eat real food. Move every day. Rest deeply. Breathe slowly. Laugh often. Stay connected. And most of all, believe in your brain's ability to change. So if this video inspired you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Because when we share knowledge, we don't just help others live longer, we help them live better. Stay sharp, stay kind, and stay beautifully alive after 60.